Welcome back to Awesome Ashby Eats. I'm Awesome Ashby, and I'm here to talk about self-love. But I'm also here to talk about how weight loss is related to self-love and how the two are one for me. You might relate to my journey, and so that's why I'm doing this, because I feel like I always see those Pinterest pictures or the magazine pictures where you have the before and the after picture. But what happens in the middle, right? Like, what is the work that all of those people that lose 50, 100 pounds, what is it that they do? What's happening, right? So I'm doing that. I've lost 25 pounds so far, I think a little more by now, and I'm on the way to more weight loss, and I want to share that with you. And I think that my weight loss has related to self-love and my lack thereof, and that's a hard thing to admit. Self-love is not very tangible. You know, you can't like hold on to it, right? And I think a lot of people, and I'm not making assumptions, I thought when I was younger, you know, no one ever talked about self-love in the 80s or the 90s, now that I'm dating myself. So self-love seems like a relatively new term to me, and actually it seems like something that's been around forever, and that's really, really important. So that's why it's important for me to talk about it for me, talk about it for you, how it's changed my life, how it's made me realize that self-worth and being I've always been independent. I've always, you know, wanted to be able to pay my own bills and, you know, get my own education and all that kind of fun stuff. But self-love is not confidence. There's part of it, it's definitely part of it. But self-love is a lot of things, and so I couldn't figure out like a log line or a paragraph to describe self-love. I'll work on that. So I've decided to do like a word of the day situation. Yeah. So today's word is self. And the definition of self is a person's essential being that distinguishes them from others, especially considered as the object of introspective or reflective actions. And that made me think that that's when we normally wind up thinking of self, is when we do introspective work and we reflect on what we've been through and what's gone on in our life. And so the word of the day is self. And of course, this is about self-love, so I'd like you to think about yourself today and maybe this whole week, and think about how you look at self-love and how you look at your life compared to self-love, right? I wasn't very good at sharing my feelings in the past, and so I would eat them. True story. So what does that mean? That means like ice creams and chocolates and the fast food and the takeout. Granted that I've educated myself now and learned why I was addicted to all of those foods, but it really, when I did the introspective, reflective work, it turned out that it was because I didn't love myself the way I was supposed to be loving myself. And I'm working on that every day, even now. I've done a lot of work the last 5 months on it, but it's a journey. Like, it's a journey for all of us. You know, it's not like you either have it or you don't have it. I mean, that's silly. It's a spectrum, as they say. So, you know, sometimes you have a little bit, sometimes you have a lot, sometimes you have more than others. You know what I mean? It's something that if you work on a little bit every single day, then eventually one day it'll just be something that's a habit, that's natural, that's a practice. That, you know, sort of kicks in when you've had a hard day or when something tough happens. You'll be like, oh right, you know, I've taught myself how I deal with this and all of that. So, I don't want to ramble. I just want to share with you the word of the day, which is self, yourself, myself, self-rules, self-love, all of that. Today's all about Rainbow Veggies. So, I do a lot of work on knowing what to eat for my weight loss journey, which is part of it. And veggies are obviously very important. They're not as delicious as I think a lot of us would like them to be. And I will agree with that, because I always had a hard time with veggies. In fact, the first friend who actually made me appreciate veggies is named Dionne. Hi, Dionne. And she used to do this thing in her apartment where she would cut up a bunch of vegetables, toss them in olive oil and salt and pepper, and then just grill them. I do not have a grill. I'm going to put them in the oven, and I'm getting it hot now. And we're going to lay them all out in a baking dish. I cut up the tomatoes, I didn't cut up the mushrooms. The mushrooms came cut up, which was nice. I cut up the Brussels sprouts, I cut up a little onion, tossed it in olive oil, salt and pepper, and I'm gonna stick that in the oven, and then I will show you what it looks like later. It is delicious. Basically, I have like strong feelings towards any vegetable cut up and tossed in olive oil and salt and pepper because Dionne showed me that they taste great, so it was like brilliant. I had a real true love for vegetables from that time on. Thank you, Dionne. But it has faded over the years. I haven't spent as much time with Dionne. I love you so much. I miss you. So she inspired me to do this today because I know I will love them and they will be delicious because she used to do it for me all the time back in the day, and I appreciate everything that she did for me back in the day. So in honor of Dionne and self-love and rainbow colors, right? June, Pride Month, whoop whoop. That's what we're doing.